Hey everybody, it's your girl Tasha G, the Transformation Guide, and what I do is I unapologetically share my story of healing because I understand the importance of emotional wellness, and in me using emotional wellness, I've been able to literally change my life. And I like to share because I want to help other people who are feeling stuck and feel like they are dealing with past pain and you just can't get out of it. I'm sorry, people are coming in. I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for joining. Share this with 3 people because I'm gonna give y'all the tea on my character, Toxic Mom, and explain to y'all why she's here and why she's important. Please feel free to put any questions you have in the chat, any feedback you have on what I've been doing. I appreciate it. That's how I get better. And that's how I know what everybody needs help with so I can create the valuable content to get you the answers that you need, all right? And just so you know, I have the 21-day Rage Page Challenge happening starting on December 1st, and I only have a few slots left. I'll also explain a little bit more about that as well, but here is the link if you would like to be a part of it. And the tickets are still 50% off until tonight, all right? And shout out to my husband for fixing up my office space here. I have to give y'all a tour one day, but he fixed up everything. I just remodeled it, and I appreciate him for hanging stuff up. So, with the Rage Page Challenge, it is 21 days to work with me. The reason that it is 21 days is because it is known scientifically to take 21 days to create a habit. Whether the habit is good or not is totally up to you. All right. So in 21 days, you work with me. Every day I am texting you. Every day I am sending you information that I feel you need to know about. And every day I'm helping you work towards the breakthroughs that you need in your life so you can let go of past pain and you can also become the person that you know you need to be. Because at the end of the day, you may not be the one who put yourself in this position and hurt yourself, but you are the one holding yourself there. It can be very difficult to admit that you are living in the pain that others have caused you and you have gotten comfortable in it. So now you're just literally surviving. And we don't have any more time to just survive and exist in this world. We need to live on purpose, all right? You were born at this time and you're on this earth for a reason with us because you have a gift to share. So do not let anybody dim your light, and it's time to take your power back, and that's what we do with the Rage Page Challenge. You also will receive 3 virtual sessions with me where I will check in with you weekly on your progress to make sure that you are moving forward, to help you celebrate your wins. And if you are indeed stuck, I work with you to figure out where you're stuck at so we can, make that go away and we can just work through it. So now here's the tea on Toxic Mom. I am a very creative person. For those of you who've been following me for a while, I've had a lot of trauma growing up. And in that trauma growing up, I didn't really get to be a child. I had to grow up and take care of myself. So in doing that, it made it difficult for me to be able to be creative, because I was always waiting for somebody to tell me that they saw something in me so I can actually do the things. And that didn't happen. But cut to my mind is so full of so many things. So Toxic Mom is like one of the things that's in my mind when I think about how I don't want to be to my children because I watched people in my family be this way. So she is actually a mix of the people who raised me, the people who weren't present, the people who affected me in some kind of way. And I wanted to share that, especially around the holidays, because that is a lot of the time that people have a lot of trauma going on. It's a lot of triggering, I should say, right? So I know some of you probably really related to Toxic Mom because I shared how she oversteps those boundaries, right? And when a mom oversteps the boundaries, you do want to put her in her place, but you don't want to follow her lead with being toxic. So you want to find the ways that work for you to be able to let her know, like, listen, I'm not comfortable with what you're doing. And if you're going to be in my space, you're going to respect what I'm doing here. You're going to respect my family. And I need you to chill. All right. But it may not be that easy to just say those words. So I decided to use a bit of comedy and to also use the different audio that's out there to make it connect. And I have dozens of drafts and I have dozens of audio in my head where I'm like, oh, I could do this next. I can do this next. But I've learned in doing what I'm doing to pace myself because I'll be able to do everything, and everything has to be intentional. Okay, so I'm just typing in here that I have 50% off of the 21-day Rage Page Challenge that is starting on December 1st. And Cream, why are you up here? My cat just jumped on my lap. I just let him out before I started the live, and somebody else let him back in upstairs. 50% off the Rage Page Challenge, and then let me put the site. Cream, if you scratch me, I'm kicking your butt down. He loves me so much, and I love him too. But this is the way I express my love, by being mean. That's part of my triggered past. But anyway, so with Toxic Mom, she is a tool that I am using. Oh, Toxic Mom had me laughing and also triggered, right? Like some of the things I would come up with, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when that happened to me, or I remember when someone else told me about it. And Toxic Mom just came to me organically because I was sitting down trying to think of content. And there's a gentleman I follow named Jeff, and he said, and this is his audio, he was like, you are not a celebrity. Like, do cringe stuff, have fun. Like, don't worry about it being like so fitting into a brand. Be yourself and everything will flow. And I was like, he's right. And it just came into place, you know. So what I do appreciate about Toxic Mom is that if you have gone through situations where you were neglected or abused, and you feel like nobody can get it because they didn't see the actual scar, you know what I mean? Or everybody just thought you were just so independent. So in their mind, they're like, that couldn't have really happened to this person with them being as great as they are now. You know, I knew that Toxic Mom would speak to that person, you know, and that's the person that I'm looking to help. And that person is me, you know, where I had to decide early on. I said, well, dang, I don't know how to be any type of way. Nobody has taught me anything to do but to be sarcastic, to be rude, to be nasty. And I don't want to be that. It doesn't feel right. It feels like I have on shoes that are 2 sizes too small. I want to learn how to have manners. So I taught myself manners. I taught myself, oh, no elbows on the table. I taught myself, when you go to the restroom, wash your hands and make sure you wash them well. I taught myself hygiene. I taught myself all of these things. And even if I did not do them correctly, the point was God knew I was trying. And then God started bringing people into my life that actually wanted to help me as I grew. And I know the shame and the embarrassment of saying that you don't have certain things, so you don't want to say it out loud. You don't want to embarrass your mom, because even though she's not there, she's not present for you, you don't want to say it out loud because that makes it real, right? And then as you grow and get older, you're like, well, I still want her to be in my family's life because that is my kid's grandparent. But how about you want people in your life that respect you? You want to forgive so you can let the past pain go that was caused to you, so you can actually be a better parent yourself. You know, you can have, you can have, I don't know what the brought tupsy is and be sarcastic. So you got to give me that. Oh, all right, yeah, you got to give me that again, Honey Badger. So I just had to learn a lot, and I had to learn it by myself, and I had to learn it. Luckily, like I said, from people God put in my path that they understood. They were okay with me not having it all together, you know, but I had to actually let that out. So I'm going to be working this month to really just help y'all become aware of some things, because we getting ready to go into the new year. And I know that's when everybody says New Year's and new me, manners and sarcasm. Yes, Honey Badger. And you personally know me, so you know I have manners and sarcasm. But I had to make sure I learned both. So, yeah, I want to help you all with your emotional wellness. And for those of you who don't know what emotional wellness is the ability to build resilience to get through life's stresses, all right? Life stresses are not going anywhere. There's going to always be some bullshit. There's going to always be something that gets on your nerves. There's going to always be something that is out of your control. And what people need to understand is when you have grown up with things out of your control as a child, the only thing you know how to do is plan for trauma, plan for disaster. In your head is always something going wrong. And I realized this with dealing with my kids, like if they want to go outside, for example, and right outside in the front, my husband will be like, oh, let them go right there in the front. They can play in the grass. We can hear them. And I'm like, but what if somebody comes up and they tape their mouth closed and then they run away with them and then we don't see them? So now I'm at the door every 2 minutes and he's just like, you worry too much. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like, that's my part in our relationship, to worry. I don't worry at all. I worry a lot. You don't worry at all. So what am I supposed to do? You know, so there's no balance unless you actually open up and let people know what's really going on with you. So as I go through discussing emotional wellness in December, I'm going to touch on the things that you need to know when it comes to that emotional wellness. You have to build that resiliency so you can stop worrying for no reason. All right. You have to learn how to shift your mindset and say, you know what, even though I didn't have loving parents that gave me the emotional support that I feel like I deserved and needed so I can just be a better person, I know that I can be that for my children, and my reward will come when my children come back to me when they get older and say, I see now why you did that, Mom. I realized that you did worry a lot, but it's only because of what you had gone through. But the way that you raised me, I know you did the best that you can, and I love you for it. As opposed to you neglecting them and holding on to past pain and just wanting everybody to understand that you weren't seen and heard when you were younger. That's what toxic mom is. Toxic mom is holding on to her past pain. And if you looked at some of the carousels I just put up, I explained that. Like, toxic mom behaves the way she behaves because she didn't have emotional support when she was growing up. She did not have anybody she could turn to that made her feel seen or heard. Even when she had her children, she still didn't feel seen or heard by their father. They're not together anymore. I'm going to get into that story because there are a lot of people out there like that, where they will not let their ego go to save the love that they have for somebody else. And I had to learn that as well. Like, everything is not going to go my way and I can't be in control of everything around me. The only thing I can control is my reaction. And that's part of emotional wellness. I cannot live my life thinking that I'm going to make my kids do everything I say now, and then when they get older and get out, thinking that they're going to still do the same things. This is why kids want to go away to college, whether their grades are good or not. They just want to get away from you. This is why people move out and they don't know how to pay bills, because they weren't taught. You controlled them and you did everything for them, and they have no way to know how to live life. You know, so what I do is I work to help you know, in you building and working on your emotional wellness, that is you helping your children learn how to be a human being. All right. They're not going to stay babies. They're not going to stay with you forever. They may or may not, but you have to let them have the choice of what they want to do. Some of your hurt and past pain comes from feeling like you didn't have choices. You didn't have a choice on who your parents were. It's nothing we could do about that. But you do have a choice of being a people-pleasing pushover now that is tired of feeling like you're used all the time. But the only way you're going to get out of that is by working on you and loving you. You can't expect other people to come around and love you in the way that you deserve if you don't even know how you feel you deserve to be loved. That's why a lot of y'all keep going back to these baby daddies. Well, I just want to have my kids with the same person, so I only got to deal with one person. But if the one person is crap, why give your whole life to this one person, have 3 or 4 kids with them, and then when the next person meets you and they want to have a life with you and they want to have children, you're like, I don't want to have any kids because I had my kids with this person over here and they tainted me. You see what I'm saying? You can't keep drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You can't keep saying, if I do things this way, then at least it's my way and that's going to be good enough. Sometimes God wants you to relinquish your control. Sometimes the universe is tired of your ass because it's like, I have something better for you. I just need you to do this one thing. And you're like, I'm not doing that one thing because that's not the one thing that I would choose to do. That's how toxic mom is born. That's how your kids say, I love you, Mom, but I can't be around you because you drain me. Every time I want to do something, you always have something negative to say. Toxic mom is a fixed mindset. Toxic mom never sees anything going well. Toxic mom is nosy as hell, which is why my husband put her in her place when he was talking to her. Shout out to Damon for being a part of that. You know, that's my king right there. But, you know, just him showing that part where it's like, I'm going to the gym. You want to go to the store, but I'm going to the gym. Now, was that because she's a toxic person and he's like, I have my boundaries set and you're going to honor them? Or was it that they just never built a good relationship and he's doing it to be petty? Right? This is real stuff. This is real life. I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you know that your mom got some toxic traits, you know. And shout out to the people who have been DMing me, whether it's been here, TikTok, or Facebook, letting me know that it was like I was a fly on the wall for them for Thanksgiving with Toxic Mom. Those microaggressions, saying little things like, oh, you clean the house? Yeah, hire some cleaners to come because you want to impress her and show her like everything is done. You need no help. But guess what winds up happening? Oh, don't look clean to me. Now she got the broom. What you doing, Mom? Oh, I'm cleaning. I know you ain't get up underneath this couch. Oh, that's the dish soap you use? That's not the dish soap I used when you was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just little things. Like, unfortunately, I see some ones. Thank you. The hardest part about having a mom that has toxic traits is that you just want her to be proud of you. You just want her to fucking relax, right? And give you that part that you see other people get. For me, I don't know what it's like to really trust a mother. You know what I mean? I won't give anybody that trust because my mother messed up her trust with me. And I'm just being honest. So I can't allow somebody else to get that from me and then swat me down by saying, oh, I'm not your mother. Because then what do I do? That's my fault that I gave you that, right? And with my mom and my relationship, what I decided to do is just say, you know what? We can't go back and change anything, right? Nobody can go back and change the past. It is what it is. But what I will say is we can start from here and move forward. And you can let me know from here how much you value me, how much you feel you're worthy of my time and my energy. If you don't come around, you don't do anything, you don't put anything in, then you get nothing. It's just like dating somebody. All your relationships in your life are just like dating someone. So if you're dating someone and they're a piece of shit, do you continue to date them? That would be up to you. And whatever you get from the relationship is what you allow. Okay? Let me see. It was my grandmother. My mom left us when we were little. How about I had my mother and my grandmother? So Mindy, I feel you. And the crazy part is, growing up, I had my great grandmother until I was 6 and she passed. So she set the bar for me on what I thought a mother and a grandmother and a great grandmother were, right? So when she passed and I had my mother and my grandmother, it was totally different relationships. But the only good thing is that as I got older, and I finally did get to talk to my grandmother after we were estranged for a while, she and I had some very interesting conversations, and I actually wrote a blog about it. So if you visit the same link I have pinned, which is for the 50% off the Rage Page Challenge at TashaG.com/shop, I also have my blog there, so you can go to TashaG.com/shop, go to the top and click the blog, or you can put in TashaG.com/blog and you can read the blog and you can see a picture of her, one of the few pictures I have of her with my children. And my children are her only great-grandchildren that she saw before she passed last month. So, very interesting. But yes, you only get what you allow. Like, that's where I'm at in life. And even though I am a broken mess at times, I realize that I'm continuously moving forward. And even though I don't have the family that I wish I had when I was younger, God gave me a family now. I have to think about those days when I prayed and I was crying as a kid, like nobody loves me. I don't have anybody here. I wish I had a family that loved me like the Huxtables. And I wish that I just felt safe and comfortable. I have that now. So I can't keep saying, well, I didn't have that when I was 12. I didn't have that when I was 10. I have to look at it now and see that my children are watching and I can give them all the things. You know, sometimes we live life out of order because we're meant to be something else. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate it, Mindy. We're meant to be something else and we don't know that. You know, like there's no seed necessarily planted so we know like, okay, I'm going to have a shitty childhood because I'm going to be a great ass mom. We don't know that. I'm going to have a shitty childhood because I'm going to be the dope rich auntie. We don't know that. You know what I mean? So we have to work daily on our emotional wellness to actually make things work. Let's see. I used to make many excuses for people. It wasn't until therapy that I started wanting better for me. And that meant being able to set boundaries that were aligned with who I want to, that were aligned to who I want to be. A word, Kwamboka. I love it. And that is why I started with being a transformational guide. I have a certification in being a rational, emotive, behavioral therapy coach. Basically, that means that I can be an emotional wellness guide. I can help you understand your emotions and why you feel them. Like, for example, when your kids go to hug you and you're like, ooh, this feels uncomfortable. This feels weird. Like, I want to hug them, but I don't because they're not babies anymore, but they're also not super big adults yet. It feels weird. You know why it feels weird? Because nobody gave you that love. So you don't know how to reciprocate, right? But what you can do is you can work on processing those feelings and saying, you know what? I'm really pissed off that nobody loved me when I was a kid. I was a nice kid. I deserved it. I didn't do anything to not deserve it. Process that. Get that out, right? And then you have room now to give. Let your children teach you if you have children. Ask them questions. I asked my son, he's 15 now, about to be 16. I asked him like maybe last year, I said, you know, you're the only one that can give me a Yelp review on how I'm being a mom to a son because he's my only boy, right? I said, what do you think? How do you think I'm doing? He said, well, you're doing great. I said, listen, you're not going to get in trouble for whatever you say. And he was like, no, you're doing a good job. But there is one thing I would ask for if I could. And I said, what's that? He said, I know who you are as mommy, but I don't know who you are as Tasha. Can you let me know who Latasha is? And I was like, oh, he wants to get to know me? He wants to hear stories about me when I was little. He wants to hear about me growing up and why I am the way I am. It was amazing, you know, so it helped me to start telling him things and saying, this is why I am the way I am because this happened. This is why I think the way I think because this happened. And it just helped to free me even more. I've been around you and seen you in your element. The way you word things to make it relatable and listen without judgment is amazing. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love being a boy mom and I love being a girl mom. They've taught me so much. So, like I'm explaining, you know, Toxic Mom basically came through to help you all understand the power of emotional wellness. And Toxic Mom is on the end of the spectrum where there's like no emotional wellness capacity or awareness there. You know, she does not understand that you have to respect other people and that's how you get respect. You know, she does not understand the value of being respected or giving respect, right? This is why she's still here and Thanksgiving was last week. You know what I'm saying? So, and all that's gonna come out. But I just decided to tell y'all a story. Like if other people can write songs and give y'all plays and do all of these things, I can do it too. So I just ask that y'all do me a few favors here. I got a few slots left and it's 50% off the Rage Page Challenge. That's going to be you saving $100 to work with me for 21 days. All right. You will have my attention. You will get 3 virtual sessions where you will be able to speak to me virtually, same way I'm talking right now, but you'll be talking back and we can work through whatever has you stuck in that past pain. And we are going to be able to get out those things that you're embarrassed and ashamed about, because there's no need to be embarrassed and ashamed with me. We got a job to do. I'm your coach. Let's get stuff going. I'm your guy, right? You will also get check-ins from me daily. You will get text messages. I have articles and stuff ready for you. I have workbooks. I have exercises. So this is a big thing where it's literally focusing on you. When I'm in your life, that's what I want you to do. As your guide, the focus is on you, not the kids, not your husband, not your best friend, not your neighbor, not your boss. You, because you deserve it. You're doing a great job as a mom. Your kids are a true testament to that. I've met your daughters and they are like, oh, thank you. And we need to come back by and play with Sese. And a testament to the work that you put in. Thank you, Kwambok. I appreciate that. So I want y'all to see if y'all can grab one of these last slots. When I went in there last time, I think it was only 3 left. That was earlier today. So if you are interested, you need to go in before they are gone. And it's half off. That's a savings of $100. All right. The next thing I need you to do is follow me on TikTok. I think I'm still Mommy Warbucks. I might be Tasha G 2022. But if you go through my content on here, you will see my name for TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me here and make sure you check out all of the Toxic Mom videos. I'm also sharing the daughter's reaction because I feel like that's important. Like, we need to highlight the way that we feel when we're dealing with a toxic mom. You know, how you feel is very important because she can literally push your buttons. That's why I had the idea of using the mannequin head and putting the glasses and the shawl and the wig on the mannequin head to show like the things that we're thinking. Like, I want to punch in the face. I want to wring a neck. but that's not going to get her to understand. The point is you need to feel seen and heard so you in turn don't turn into the toxic mom that's dealing with your children when they're adults. We have to break these generational cycles, and I see and know the way. So I'm excited about being able to help people through this process. Another thing I want you to do is, as you watch my stuff, please comment and let me know what you think in the comments. That is me. It's not a bot. It's not somebody in another country reading. It is me doing all of the work. Thank you, God, for the anxiety you gave me. I understand it now. It's for me to learn how to multitask and do so many things on social media, because I am constantly creating content, constantly thinking about the ways I can show up, constantly thinking about the ways that I can help and provide value. Another thing I want you to do is go to my website, TashaG.com/shop. Look around, see what you would like to get into, and also make sure you join my mailing list. Because when you join my mailing list, I send out emails, so that way you'll know when I have my new blog posts out, when I drop a new product or service, or sometimes I just reach out and see how y'all are doing. Okay? And if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me. I make sure I check the request just in case you're not, you haven't messaged me before and I've accepted. I do check so I can get those messages, because everybody is important and valuable to me. I want you to also know that I don't just help women, I help men as well. There have been some men in my DMs, and they've been, expressing the things that they've gone through, and I'm proud of them for that, because a lot of men don't have an outlet and they don't feel like anybody understands. So I'm grateful that God is allowing me to learn how to put my journey into words so others can understand and be like, wow, she gets it. I know it's a gift, and it's a humbling gift at that. So very excited about that. And please share, all right? Share with people who need a laugh. Share with people who are going through things, and they've been trying to figure out a way to express it or explain it, and they need words and they have no idea how to say it. They might see something that I do or say and be like, oh my gosh, that is it. I realize now that my mom is toxic because she came for Thanksgiving, said she was leaving that Saturday. It is now Tuesday, about to be Wednesday, and she's still here. And she didn't ask if she can stay. Now my husband and I are arguing because he's like, I thought you said she was leaving Saturday, and she's still here. She's spoiling the kids and giving them candy instead of giving them food. She's telling them they don't have to listen because she's here. They can listen to her instead of me. I'm going to have a freaking heart attack. Just saying. And there are other toxic traits that moms have. Because remember, your mom was not born a mom. She was born a child. She went through her own dramas and traumas, and she has her own perspective on life, and she's probably doing the best she can, right? So I want you to keep that in mind, because when you start to understand that everything in your life that has hurt you to your fucking core was not on purpose, it was not intentional to you necessarily, you will be able to let a lot of things go. For me, love always existed in hurt or loss. There was never anything that I had that did not come with hurt or loss. So up until recently, when God is like, okay, you get it now, you're understanding what I'm doing, I'm going to give you some hurt, but it's going to be in love, and it's not going to be intentional to you like it was targeted to you. It's just a part of life, and it's just how it goes. And you got to see that somebody else's perspective is happening with yours. You have to choose whether or not you want to exist in the same world or not. That's what changed my life. And now that I see when people do stuff, it still ticks me off. I still get triggered. But then I'm like, did that person intentionally do that to me? Or am I just pissed because that's something that would usually piss me off, and I want to say something about it, but I know now it's not intentional, so there's no need for me to say anything. I can now choose my reaction to the person or to the situation and how we'll move forward. That's power. That's freaking power. Like, money can't buy that. Money can't buy that. And this is something that you grow within yourself. And that's why I'm so excited about the Rage Page Challenge, because I've helped dozens of women since I created this back in July or August. I think it was August. Since creating this, I've helped so many women be able to say things like that and do things like that and say, you know what? This is what I will tolerate. So if you can't get on board, you can go on about your business. And the person that they said it to has said, you know what, you're right. I'm going to straighten up because I want to be a part of your life. Or, you know what, I'm sorry. I overstepped. I should not have done that. Let me get myself together before you don't want to deal with me anymore. It can happen. It will happen. But you've got to know how to love yourself. You got to know who you are and what you want. And you got to understand this is not going to be overnight recovery. What I do is I help guide you in the process, because as I guide you, I can help you decide if you want to go to therapy, if you want to use music to help you through the process, if you want to pick up exercise as a lifestyle like I did to get you through some of these things. I can help you with that. But the only way you're going to get the help is by taking the first step. All right. So I have my link there in the bio. I also have my link pinned here if you're interested. The 50% off will go away tonight. Hey, the 50% will go away tonight. So if you're interested, I suggest you grab a spot. I have other things that are getting ready to start, and I'm very excited about it. So make sure you turn all your post notifications on so you don't miss out on anything else with Toxic Mom, or any of the new products and services I have coming, or any of the series that I'm creating right now. I am very excited for the way that things have been going, and I just want to thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me and giving me a chance to just be me. For those of you who may be coming across this live after it is been on for a while, or somebody sent it to you, I'm Tasha G, the Transformation Guide, and what I do is I unapologetically share my journey of healing using emotional wellness. And I am an overwhelmed mom who has anxiety, who has PTSD, who has so many things going on, but I'm actually enjoying the life that I'm living, and that's all because of emotional wellness. And I look forward to helping you along the way, because you deserve to take your power back. Trust me, you're worth it. Y'all have a good night.